Horrible Western movies. Westerns come in many shapes, sizes and genres. Some Oscar winners, many entertaining and worth the watch. Like any movie genre though, there are some stinkers. Some become cult movies, many just relegated to just being bad or horrible, and not worth another look. Let's take a look at some today. If you enjoy this video, take a look at my channel for many more. The link is in the description. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. Kicking off with From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter, 1999. From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter is a prequel to the original film as it follows the new protagonist, Johnny Madrid, an outlaw who just barely escaped death. On the run, finding an unexpected companion in Esmeralda, the daughter of the hangman, who would go on to become Satanico Pandemonium, the villain in the first film. The Hangman's Daughter focuses on the more Western aspects of the series, a choice that proved to alienate and disappoint fans of the series. With its lower straight-to-DVD budget, the film was never going to stand up to the cult classic original. Lucky Luke and the Daltons, 2004. Taken from the classic comic characters, Lucky Luke and the Daltons follows the tale of the Dalton brothers, four of some of the most infamous and dastardly outlaws in the Wild West. Constant failures have got to the point that their mother turned against them, kicking them out of the home, out of shame. Ending up in jail, the brothers learn from a prisoner about some magic that will make them invincible. The brothers escape to find this powerful magic. Trying to act as a comic parody of the Western genre, the comedy of this comic simply did not work on the big screen. The film fell into the same failed tropes that other unsuccessful early 2000s comedies fell into, with an over-reliance on CGI, bad and offensive humour, and an overly complicated plot. There's little that the film offers to those unfamiliar with the characters from the start. Final Justice, 1985. Deputy Sheriff Thomas Jefferson Geronimo III, because of his violent past, was transferred to a rural outpost as punishment. There, Geronimo is promoted to the role of sheriff after two thugs kill the sheriff, starting a sequence of events that has Geronimo travelling across the world in service of revenge. Westerns as a whole have been successful and revered over many years, thanks to their simplicity and execution. Two things that are completely abandoned by Final Justice: anything but simple, a strange attempt to combine the genres of Western and gangster to create a combination that brings out the worst in either genre. With its overly complicated plot and stilted action, lacking charisma from its lead, Final Justice is known for just how cluttered the viewing experience is. Wagon East, 1994. A farcical Western film following a group of misfits in 1860s West, deciding that they cannot live in their current roles in life. The group decides to hire an alcoholic wagon master, James Harlow, John Candy, to assist them escape their terrible lives in the West, travelling by wagon back to the East. The journey turns out to be more difficult than expected, facing many obstacles while travelling across the country. The film that John Candy suffered his fatal heart attack while filming. A shame that Candy's last comedic role was such a dud. Candy has been an exceptional comedic force in the past. Candy's death also paints a tone over the film, while unavoidable, still affects the final movie to some point.
The tough stayed home.
Wild Wild West, 1999. One of the most legendary box office bombs ever. Wild Wild West sees the evil Dr. Alice Lovelace Kenneth Branagh, planning to rekindle the Civil War by assassinating the President. Only two people can stop his scheme: a gunfighter, James West, Will Smith, and Master of Disguise, Artemis Gordon, Kevin Kline, a duo who are argumentative but soon create the perfect team. Director Barry Sonnenfeld and actor Will Smith appeared to be unstoppable after the 1997 smash hit Men in Black. However, their attempt at a western became an unexpected disaster. Wild Wild West tries to bring the quirky buddy duo sci-fi mischief of Men in Black to the western genre, creating a mismatch that didn't work, made worse by bad CGI. Since its release, a number of jokes and plot points have become considerably worse with age, making this film's legacy even worse now. The Beast of Hollow Mountain, 1956, a B-movie about an American cowboy living in Mexico trying to find who is behind the disappearance of his cattle. He discovers evidence of a dangerous beast living near his home. He comes to realize that the beast living inside the mountain is a giant, prehistoric dinosaur. Westerns were everywhere in the 50s in culture. It's not surprising that some of them created such wild and outlandish premises to stand out during the era. The Beast of Hollow Mountain promises a funny, bad time of blending dinosaurs and cowboys. The final film is duller than its premise, would have you believe. The dinosaur doesn't enter the film until the final act, after the audience has fallen asleep to its by-the-numbers plot.
I do not want to be a widow or the wife of a murderer on my way.
Gallow Walkers, 2012, the story of Aman, Wesley Snipes, a cursed and forbidden son of a nun who travels the desert as a lonely man, surrounded by death and destruction, never hesitating to snuff the life out of anyone who crosses him. His curse returns to haunt him as his victims are brought back to life and pursue him for revenge. To fight back against this undead army, Aman enlists a young gunman to fight by his side against the enemies of his past. Snipes tries his best to tap into the cold and calculated aura seen from his legendary Blade films, but not enough to save Gallow Walkers from being a lackluster experience.
You want him to come, to finish it here.
Come on, I don't know how to be dead.
No one taught you how to live.
The Ridiculous Six, 2015, a collaboration between Adam Sandler and Netflix. Sandler playing Tommy Whiteknife Stockburn, the son of a legendary outlaw. After his father returns, Tommy discovers he has other brothers across the country, embarking on a journey to find his 5 lost brothers for the first time. The extensive supporting cast includes the likes of Terry Crews, Taylor Lautner, Rob Schneider, and Luke Wilson. The Ridiculous Six stands out greatly as arguably one of Sandler's worst films of all time. Lowbrow humour and negative depictions of Native Americans were simply too much for audiences. A highly uncomfortable and unenjoyable experience.
Hands up high. Oh, snap! You got the drop on wide, huh?
Jonah Hex, an often forgotten DC movie. Jonah Hex follows the gunslinger, appointed by President Ulysses Grant, embarks on a quest to find the terrorist Quentin Turnbull. In the process, Jonah secures his freedom by accepting this task to take down one of the most dangerous outlaws of the West, and has a chance to deliver revenge on the man who killed his wife and child. The result is one of the most boring westerns ever created, as it does the bare minimum with its predictable action, plot, and characters. The film does a disservice to the original comic book character, often considered one of the worst DC movies of all time.
The U.S. government needs your help.
Why don't you just say that to begin with?
Anything new, Smith?
Thought you'd never ask. I take it that means you approve.
Garter?
They took it all, Jonah.
They searched you for it darn good, didn't they?
Wouldn't you?
Kill him. I'd like to see that. Can you shoot?
Can you?
Obviously.
Hey, Hex! What happened to your face?
Cut myself shaving. What happened to yours?
Is that all you got?
Let me show you.
Blood Rain 2, Deliverance, 2007. Rain, the half-human, half-vampire warrior, travels halfway across the world, nearly 100 years after the first film, from 18th century Romania to the 1880s American West. She is the only one capable of stopping vampire Billy the Kid from wreaking havoc, having to take down him and his posse of vampire cowboys. Blood Rain 2 is a painful and slow experience that focuses less on the inherent comedy and absurdity of its premise, instead only focuses on the sex appeal of its lead actress, eventually trying to tap into its Western hook, obviously copying Westerns like Unforgiven and Tombstone to the point of disappointment.
You must be one old vampire.
As soon as the rail service comes to this outpost, hundreds of people will be coming in. They're going out vampires.
You're a vampire.
I'm fear, half human.
You know, I think we're gonna need some help. A couple extra guns would be pretty handy.
Donate all that you have to God.
You join us in our good works and redeem your soul. I have a proposition for you. For the people of Deliverance, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons. It is for them that we do this.
Turn around, you yellow dog bastard!
That's what you are. Join me. Roll to my side.
Something for me.
Now the slaughter begins!
Thanks for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate likes, shares and subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification button to get my new videos. Drop me your comments. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.